Hello and welcome to Hexed Encountered Sports Edition. My name is Joe. Today I'm going to be doing a playthrough and first look of the game Football. Play it again. This is a fairly new game. It's a print and play. It is available on timetodice.com and it is from designer Krzystzof Pietrzak. And I hope I did not butcher your name, my friend. So, let's take a look at the game first, and then I'll do a few play examples. I'm not sure if I'll play an entire game because I don't want the video to be too long, but I do want to let you know what it is or what this game has in it, and what it involves, etc., etc. So it does come with 32 fantasy World Cup teams. I've printed out two here. We have Germany and England. So these are fictional fantasy teams, essentially. There are a lot of components. I didn't print everything and mount it or anything like that. So I'll just kind of go over some of how the game actually, how it works. So you see all your players on here. And let me not point with my pencil because it's going to make a mark. So I'll point with the other side. So we have a player here, right? You can see the players and they're kind of in the formation that they would be in on the field, right? So these are our starters. This gray line kind of divides the starters from the bench. So these are the bench players. These are your starters. So we have one in the top, then we have 5 across, 4 across in the back, and then a goalie, of course. So there are a lot of symbols and things on here. And what do all these symbols mean? We'll get into that here in a second. So first of all, you got the position, you got the player's name. You have things like if they are a star player, I'm looking for one. I don't see one. There would be like a star symbol. These are like aggressiveness marks. So there's a key for what all of these mean. And actually, they're right here. So this is the symbols for it. So you can see all of these symbols and what they represent, right? You have aggressive. That's what this is. Then you have the shoe. The black shoe, which indicates finishing. A white shoe is long shot. You have on the goalie, you have things like positioning, and they have ranges. So when it says 2, basically it's like a 0, 1, 2. Some of them go up to 3. So you have a bunch of different things. You have eccentricity for a goalie, distribution. So there are goalie specific ones. You have sniper, creative, fighter, free kick ability, penalties, corners, injury resistant and prone, strong, agile, talent, star and half star, etc., etc. So these are what all of your symbols mean. Then you have basically you assign a key player to your team, and we'll get into all of that. So the game also involves 2d6 and a d12 that are obviously not provided. It is a print and play game. So I have my 2d6 here. It says white and red. I have black and white. Same kind of concept. And a d12. I grabbed some markers here. I was going to use these meeples for basically to mark the key player, etc. There are also some team ratings. So you can see here CLOFDEAG, right? So those correspond to class, offensive, defensive, aggression. And there's some team events on here as well, like number 1, plays at home, gain initiative, and etc., morale, and so on. For the Germans, for the English, they have 3 things as well. Tells you who takes the penalty kicks. They have a resistance to injury rolls, so they're a little bit more sturdy, I guess. The British, or England rather, has aerial play. So they get a +1 to all shots if your morale is 3. Shots B, actually. So there's a game book. I'm not going to show the game book because that kind of is core to the gameplay. And as I mentioned, this is a print and play game. So I may show little bits of the playbook, but I'm not going to show you the entire playbook. There are 8 pages to it, various charts. The game is really quite detailed. There, like I said, you have a bunch of different charts on it, and it covers everything from shots. So you have different kinds of shots. You have a chart called boring time, an attack chart, danger chart, action, several shot charts. So you have 3 shot charts and a goalie chart. And they all kind of take a combination of the 2 dice, the 2d6 plus the d12, plus the player's abilities, and of course the goalie's abilities if it's a shot, and so on. There's a shot X chart. There's shots for the direct free kick, for penalties, yellow cards, controversy as well. Chaos, deflection, substitutions, the effect of a goal. You roll after a goal is scored to determine, how that affects the team. Morale. So you have good morale, good form, poor form, euphoria, and breakdown. And then you have the unusual events and adrenaline and random player events and just all kinds of stuff. There are optional rules for game day effects. Referee cards if you wanted to use referees. There's 3 referees included in here. Weather. You can do special tactics like tight marking and pressing and so on and so forth. There are also some tactical cards that you can use for that. As I mentioned, those are kind of optional, but they are available to you if you wish to use them. So there's a lot of detail to this game. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through a little bit and let you see what the game looks like. And then, hopefully you can make a call on whether this game might be for you. So I switched out the red for the white here. This way they correspond to the dice when I roll for, who wins, who wins initiative, basically initiative marker. The first thing you do when you do a game setup is you draw and determine which teams you're going to play. We obviously have that done. You'll decide who's home and the game's mode. So we'll do like a World Cup game. We'll just call it a cup game. Technically nobody's at home. But for purposes of the score sheet and so on, we'll use Germany as the home team and England as the away team. Players will use their proper markers to identify their key players. On the time track, we'll put our markers on the zeros, right? We count up, right? Okay, easy enough. Markers for score changes, yellow cards, player changes, etc. We put them over here. I'll use these for things like that. So I have, a handful of markers available to me to utilize for that purpose. All right. Okay, so the first thing we do is roll here to determine who has the ball, who has initiative, right? So black, as I said, is Germany. White is England. So Germany wins 6-3. I'm going to use this red marker for the team that has initiative. I'll just stick it at the top. Okay, so then you roll all 3 dice. And this will give us an event that will then kind of dictate time coming off the clock and so on and so forth. So that's an 11. So we look at 11 in our game book under events. So you're always going to get an event every single time. And that will determine, you have 12 charts based on the possible, it's 11, I guess, 2 through 12, based on what you get here. Okay, so we have an 11. That is danger. Time goes up by 2, so we'll move this up 2 minutes. And then the D12 result will tell you something about what happened, right? So a 3-4 is K plus 2, K2 ball. Okay, so what does that mean? I have to look it up. And, obviously as you learn the game, you'll learn what all of these symbols and so on mean. So in this case, the K2 ball question mark would mean look at the attacking team's key player. That's Mauer right now. Does he have the 2 ball symbol on it, which Schmerler has right here, but he does not have. So since he does not have it, then that's a no. So like I said, you have to kind of figure out what all of this means. So like I said, it said K2 ball question mark. So you ask yourself, does he have that? The answer is no. So then you have to roll on the chaos chart. So you roll the chaos chart and you roll a d12 plus a d6. So we'll do this. And we get a 5 and a 2. So 5 is fall of both key players, yellow card for the away key player, check injury of less experienced player, experience is equal, no injury. Pelling is higher injury rating, but he also gets a yellow card. So I'm just going to put a yellow here, and hopefully we won't get more than 4 because I only have 4 tokens. So Pelling gets a yellow card, and we check for an injury. So the experience here, Maurer is a 1, Pelling is a 2. We know that Pelling he's injury resistant. Maurer has no rating, so that means he's basically normal. Okay, so there is an injury chart. I need to roll against that, so we're going to roll. And a 4 indicates that there is an injury, okay? 1 to 7 would be an injury. 8 to 12, no injury. You get a plus 1 for being resistant and a -1 for prone. He doesn't get a modifier because he's neither. Okay, so I'm going to put an injury marker on Maurer. We have to randomly determine who the key player will be. Burnt will come on. I'm going to put a marker on him to indicate that he's in the game. And let me roll this to see who we get. We get a 2, so the 2 is Zambrod. I'll make him the key player for the moment. And the initiative stays, because it's the first half, the initiative stays with the home team. And so we do it all over again. And this is how, and we had 2 minutes. All right, so this time we get a 2 and a 12 for the event. So that is a shot, time +1. Okay. So the D12 is a 2, and that is shot B by the key player. So that's Zambrod. Sorry, correction. I read that wrong. It was an asterisk, which according to our abbreviations chart here means choose attacking player except the key player. So we're going to take somebody who's good, right? Why not? We'll take Schmaler. And we'll roll again. And we get an 8 and a 4 on the D12. So shot B, we look at the D12, it's a 4. And then we look at the 2D6 is an 8. So that is, so you look for a header symbol. Do I have anybody with a header symbol? I do not. So it does not matter. No header symbol is E/IC. So E actually indicates that the ball bounces off, and the IC means that we get a initiative change, I believe. Oh, ball intercepted. Yes, ball intercepted, initiative change. So now it goes over to the English, and we roll again, and we get an 8 this time. And so 8 is attack. So time gets first half plus D12. So that's 8 minutes. So that's going to be 13. So we're in the 13th minute now. Oh, sorry. And we had a 4. So 4 is if the key player has the thumbs up, which he does, shot B. So he gets a shot B. So shot B, we roll again. And we get a 7 and a 9. 7 and 9 for shot B. And again, he has no header. So that is an L. Ball bounces off the pitch. All right, sorry, I actually read that result wrong. 7 in the 9 to 12 with no header is J $, which says shot in the middle +1 to roll on the goalie chart. So we're going to roll on the goalie chart. We might have a goal here. So we get an 8 and an 11. 8, 11. Actually, he has a 2. So 8, 11 within the 2 shield. 8, 11, 2 shield is L. L is great save. Goalie encourages his teammates. All right, so we're going to switch initiative, and we're going to roll again. This time we get a 12 which is the shot again, and a 5. So 12-5 is key player shot A. So our key player is Schmaler. And shot A. Okay, so we're going to roll again. 7 and 8. So 7, 8 with he has no black shoes. 7, 8, no shoes is J again. So shot in the middle, +1 to the roll on the goalie chart. So 5 becomes a 6, and 6, 7 on the goalie chart with a 2 is RX. RX is reflex chart. So we roll our D12. We get a 10. Is the shooter talented? No. Oh, took technique or talented. So that is yes. He gets goal VAR 1. So we're going to roll to see what this variety is here, and that's a 9. That is offside initiative change. So no goal. Did it say how much time came off on that? It did not. Oh, time +1. So we were at 14. So initiative change back to England. I think you're getting the gist of how this game works. I hope. This time we roll a 6, 6. 6, 6. So 6 is fight for ball. So time in the first half, we use the black die +1. So that's going to add 3 minutes. And we have a 6 and a 6. 6, 6 is team with better morale. Okay, so morale involves the having up or down markers, which we don't have any currently because nothing really has happened. So we're just going to have an initiative change and we're going to move on. So this time we get a 7 and an 11. And 7 is duel, 11 is header. So time, first half, black die +2. So that's going to be 8 minutes, which will move us up to 25. Okay, so we have to roll for, I guess we don't roll for switch. We just use the die. The white die, it's a 5. So the key player moves here and here. Okay, then you compare them and we're looking at header. So Germany does not have header. England does, so they're going to win. They're going to win initiative. Okay, so we switch initiative and we go to the next. We get a 2 and a 9. So 2 is whistle and 9 is controversy in attacking penalty area. All right, so we have to look at the controversy table. And we roll the D12 and 1D6. 3 and 6. So 3 is away key player, knocks over opponent. CD6, the D6 is a 6. So if he does not have a shield, which he does not, then it's a penalty. All right, so let's look at our penalty here. So Germany's taking a penalty. We're going to roll 1 die. We get a 6. So Alm will be taking the penalty shot. That's this guy right here. Okay, and now for the penalty shot, we roll 2d6 and a 12. We get a 5. And then 2d6. Oh, you add the 2d6 first. So 9. Goalie fooled, shot under the crossbar, goal. So that is a goal. And Germany is on the board. They have scored. So it is 1-0 Germany. I'll just stick that on there. So it's 1-0 Germany. Alm has scored a goal. I would write it down, but I'm not going to because this is really just an example. And I'm probably not going to play the entire game. So that is a goal, of course. After a goal is scored, you have to roll for the effect of the goal. So I'm going to roll one die. We get a 1. We're supposed to change the key players for both teams. So let's do that first. I'm going to roll a D7. So we'll go here. And this is just how I do it. I don't know if this is the way. 7 again. All right. So now we'll take that 1 that I rolled, okay? So at first half goal, we get -2 morale of 1 or 2 players from the team that just gave up the goal. So we're going to have 2 morale drops for players on England. Okay, so we're going to roll 9. So 9 is Lee. I'm going to put a red marker on him. And 7 is Perkins, and I'll put a red marker on him as well. Okay. So the initiative in this case would go to the home team. So there. And we will pick back up. 5 and 4. So 5 is foul time. Or foul rather. Time plus D12. So that's going to move us to 30. And 4 is controversy in defender's penalty area. So we're going to roll on the controversy chart again. So we roll our D12 and a D6. And we get a 7 and a 4. So D12, 7 is key player runs out of position, flag offside, and the initiative goes to the losing team. And we roll again. 12 and 4. So 12 we know is a shot. And a 4, it's time plus 1, so they gain 1 minute. And 4 is player's choice, except for the key player, and shot A -1. So who do we want to shoot here for the Brit? I keep wanting to say the British. England. Let's go to Pelling. Okay. So we're going to shoot here on A, and we're going to have a -1. So 7 -1 is 6 and 5. 6 and 5. He has 2 shoes. So 6 and 5 with 2 shoes is result M. That is an accurate shot. And we go to the goalie chart and roll again. And we get a 3 and a 9. And a 3 and 9 for a 2. Goalie of 2. 3, 9. 3, 9, 2 is GE. So that would be goalkeeper screams. And that is a goal. Okay. So the goal has been scored there by Pelling to make it 1-1. So it is 1-1. And we would roll again for goal effects. So that's just what we did a minute ago. So the first thing is we change the key players for both teams. 3. And 12, which is basically the key player. So it stays with Pelling. And we roll our D6. Remove, if he had bad morale, we'd remove it. He does not. So now we're going to just roll for morale and initiative change. We get a 1 again. So that means that 2 of the German players are going to suffer morale impact from that. So 2 German players. Number 2, which is Zambrod. And number 4, Verling. Both end up with some negative things there, and we go to the Germans getting initiative, and we continue. And I'm going to stop here. I hope you've gotten the gist of how the game works. There are a lot of charts. I've shown little pieces of them because I want you to kind of see the chart without seeing the entire chart. We don't want to give away too much of the gameplay here, but you get the idea. There's a lot to learn at first, but after a while it becomes more and more intuitive. I can tell you, as I've been playing, just doing this playthrough, I'm getting more and more in tune with how the game works. There are a lot of symbols to learn, but once you learn the symbols and what they mean, you can look at the player and you can say, hey, this guy's good or he's not good, etc., etc. So that is going to do it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Maybe a little confusing, or I may not have done some things correctly. I am prone to be doing that occasionally, but I did want to show the game so you could see what it looks like. I may do a full playthrough after I tinker around with it a little more and get a little bit more of a feel for it, and that may be down the road a bit because I have a backlog I'm trying to work through here. So I wanted to squeeze this in, as a first look at the game. So thanks for watching. As always, that is very much appreciated. Please consider liking, sharing, and or subscribing if you have not. If you are a subscriber, thank you very much for your support. It is much appreciated. But that's going to do it. My name is Joe. This has been Hexed Encountered Sports Edition. And until next time, happy gaming.